Hi, thought I'd show me my ugly mug. I'm still going to carry on with the abstract expression theme. I was thinking of Rothko today. I'm very fortunate that I live a short train ride from the centre of London, or the City of London, where we have the wonderful Tate Modern Arts Gallery. And there is a room that contains a number of the very large Rothko paintings that he gave to the British nation, which was very kind of him. And I've mentioned this several times before, but people go there to scoff because they're quite plain. I think they're about 4 metres by 3 metres or something like that. They're quite large, and they're squares with borders and very diffuse. But people go there to scoff and come out praying. Rothko has that effect, and you can see a Rothko and know it's by him. That he didn't need to sign his work. It was obvious, and it's very difficult to copy because everybody knows how it's done, and it's quite plain. And I'm going to do something like it, but I'm going to put myself out on a limb and follow the brush. Really, see where we go. I don't pretend to have any inner knowledge or greater intelligence or lesser intelligence. If I do these things, I'm not the judge. It's painting as far as I'm concerned. I spent all my last 40 years, not all my life, last 40 odd years painting from nature, painting Venice impressions, and wondering whether it is really art. What is art? You know, what is it that describes it? How do you describe it? Is it because it looks like something that it represents that's good art? Or is it that which provokes a feeling, inspires a feeling of peace, of rage, of wonder, of emotion, of all sorts of different things? And that's why when I have a go at abstract, to get myself away from the copying or the impression of nature, as you know, all my wonderful series and my English landscapes, it's good to have a change, to try different things, to free up and just enjoy the actual process of painting, regardless of what it actually looks like or what others might think. Others who don't paint in particular are very good judges of art, aren't they? Anyway, enough of me. I'll show you my palette. There it is. It's just a piece of Rowney, Daily Rowney Stay Wet palette. The palette itself was long consigned to the dustbin. It wasn't very durable, and these thin membranes, greaseproof paper, they are very thin, and they tended to buckle very, very quickly. I didn't like the palette itself. Probably improved now, but if I use a Stay Wet palette, I use the Masterson, which is far better quality than the ones that Daily used to provide. I've got a very limited palette here. I've got some yellow ochre, some white. That's the art quality. These are to artist quality. Wilco's don't do these in the cheap range, but these are the cheap range. The orange, the cadmium red, and the black. I love black. There's a lot you can do with it. So let's come up to the board. Sorry, I'm all just fiddling around. Let's come out a little bit. Alright, so there we are, portrait. So sorry about the clothes area in the background. I have to share this room with a bit of laundry, or at least the drying and the ironing. But most of it is for my studio. It's a lovely room with bags of lights, from some roof lights, windows, the large Velux windows. I think I'll just let this down. It's just a bit high. Just let it down 2 or 3 inches. It was okay at the portrait, but the landscape format. Well, there we are. So I'm going to just bring the camera down as well. That will annoy you. You probably know you're going to move this. What I should do is put Janice's portrait of me with Freddy the Cat up on that wall, then you'll be able to see that as well. Right, I don't know what Janice makes of my last two abstracts. They seem to be doing all right on YouTube. Had a couple of unlikes, but you expect that. But most seem to enjoy it, and they're on Facebook. And one of them, the one I call Commotion, has had quite a lot of comments. But anyway, I've primed this both sides with some PVA glue that comes in the stuff I've used. PVA Bond. It's universal. This is all stuff you can stick wood with. You can paint on your walls to make them a bit waterproof, or to get cement to stick to fence posts, that sort of thing. But it's a wonderful medium. It's plastic when it's dry. It's the same stuff as acrylic paint. And that's why I use it, and I dilute it, and I put it in an old squeezy bottle here, and I prime both sides of the paper with it to give it a bit of a seal and stop the paper from buckling too much. I think my mix now is a bit thin. I'm going to have to buy some more to replace that tub because I'm just about on its last legs. Right, okay. 3 brushes, just the inch varnish brushes. And I'm going to just mix up a bit of. I'm going to use. Let's use a bit of medium. I'll use a bit of. When I say medium, I mean direct PVA glue. I've got loads of these. I make homemade beer from kits, and the top encloses the packets of yeast and enhancer with these plastic lids, and they make wonderful things for painting. So there's my medium. Just pour it out. My dilute PVA glue. Just in there. So I'll put that to one side, and I'm going to mix the black with a bit of white and a bit of ochre, and then we'll just go around the edges and just see. This is sort of a Rothko style, just like a square with. He sometimes, I think, puts border down. No, so they're all different, but they are so beautiful. I don't know why we like them. Who knows? But in this room, it's a darkened room, but the paintings are highlighted, of course. And in the middle of the room is a large bench to sit on and contemplate, and just lose yourself in the glory of these things. And also in the Tate Modern are some Pollocks. And I love Jackson Pollock because he did, he was the first, as I recall, to do the drip painting type of paintings. They're just gorgeous. Alright, just put some colour in. I can glaze over this when I've got something going here. I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just making it up. Been on the bike ride this morning with the old men, well, 3 of us today. But very dull day, but quite mild for this time of year. Daffodils were out in one of the parks, which was gorgeous to see. But there comes to a time when I don't really want to do the usual stuff that I have been doing, and I need to have a change. It's good working off this sheet of paper. There, I've got something going there. With the glazes, you can just go over them and strengthen up. Just mix a bit of cadmium red with a bit of orange. Just making squares, really. Plenty of medium, so let it flow. Flow medium is quite expensive, but mixing with PVA glue, it's not. But it does dry quite quickly. It's not. It hasn't got any retarders in it. Okay, so let's make that into a bit of a window. No glue in this one. I want to see if I can concentrate some light. So down here, and then just glaze over it. Clean the brush. Got a cup of tea on the go here. This is lovely sitting here doing this. That's a lifetime of work. I can sit here, talk to you, give my biased opinions. A bit later, when I'm uploading this, if it's worth it, I'll give Alan Owen a ring, see what he's been up to. Okay, need to do a bit at the top there, so let's put a bit of a darkish, reddy black. My next landscape is going to be one of Anne Sterling's photographs. I can't remember where in America she lives at the moment. But it's a lot of snow, and from her backyard, she has these most incredible vistas of birch forest with snow, and it cries out for lifting out the watercolour with your fingernail to make the birch tree trunks. Birch tree trunks, they've got a mouthful. At a bit of distance, I put her photographs on her Facebook, but it's also on my timeline. I've shared it with myself so that I can get to it easily. Have a look at it. If you're not yet looking at my Facebook page, have a look. I put all these on, or links to YouTube on Facebook, and all my paintings that I've done over the last couple of years for YouTube are in one place, photographs. Some of them are slightly different than the film because I do modify them. If something is glaring, I can do it a bit better. Oh, this is lovely. Right, okay, so I'm using plenty of medium, but you need it to dry, so you have to work on various bits of it. Here, let's take the hairs off. Right, I'm going to brighten this up, and I want to get frame that white area, or that slightly orangey ochre white area, and then work on these borders. Right, so we go. Let's have a bit of white in that orange. Don't worry about complementary colours in this or anything. I'm just painting light. I'll have a little bit of a darker red on top of that. Just blend it. And you make it up as you go along. And I hope you can produce something that others will find challenging, stimulating, inspiring, thoughtful. That is cadmium, but I thought that was, I didn't want to use the cadmium, the crimson. I wanted to use cadmium red. I've got so much of it. I sometimes go to Wilkinson's to get my beer mix, and I buy some paints and I forget what I've got a lot of, so I ended up with about 4 reds. No, that's the same stuff. It's a bit purple, not purpley, but a bit crimsony. But anyway, I'm going to have to use some more medium on there. Get that hair out of the way. Good job. even the paper is buckling, but it should dry flat. But these are the sort of paintings on the watercolour paper that you can quite easily stick to a piece of hardboard. And then frame it if you wish, or whatever. A popular way of framing paintings seems to be to make a frame outside and stick the paper onto a backing of hardboard and then frame that and paint the board that you stuck your paint into, paint it white or something. It's quite a good idea. Right, let's weight it a bit heavy. Just picking up the surface of the paper. This is Fabriano. It's not on the back of a not very good demonstration. It's on a new piece. Right, let's change that brush, and I'm going to clean out my little pot of medium. This is getting us a little bit tainted. Right, bit of kitchen roll. You need a lot of paper for this sort of work. When it dries, you can just get a palette knife under it and it just peels off like a piece of plastic. So it's completely reusable. That's brilliant, this acrylic. I don't think it will ever take over from oil. I mean, oil does different things. And the brush strokes stay where you put them in oil, but these tend to shrink and as they dry. But the great thing about acrylic is its solubility with water, and it dries very quickly, and I like that quality. Well, I'm going to concentrate. We seem to be coming down to this corner here, so I'll push one up there. We'll get a touch of white in with the ochre, bit of medium. Let's just get that in there, in this corner here. Let's get white in that corner there. Okay. Now maybe that needs to be darker now. So let's get the ochre and get the black and glaze over it. Not so much a glaze as it's a solid colour. That. I'm not worrying about being too exact with my edges. I'm not going for any sort of graphic representation here. I'm just trying to glaze colours over this. Right, okay. No, I don't like that now. I prefer the red. So you do have choices. It's not entirely without intelligence. You do have choices to make. But I think I'm going to just start glazing with that orange. Plenty of medium. And the orange will just dry and show hopefully what's underneath. But I want to get that to dry. If I give it a bit of a dry with a hairdryer, let's see what. So mute your sound right now. Now the painting is has got a shine on it now. Because I'm using this PVA glue diluted, it dries as a varnish. That's fairly dry. So I'm going to go back over that with the red, I think. But plenty of, and the orange, plenty of medium. Go over the edges a bit. I've had the pleasure of going to the Frieze Art Fair over several years, mainly because my son is responsible for producing, or with his mate, producing all the marvellous food in the Caprice restaurant set up in. And we've been a couple of times to Regent's Park, and the Frieze Art Fair is a massive contemporary art fair. All the galleries in the world are there, and you look at some of the stuff, you think, crumbs, is it art? Is it a con? Is it dealers hyping artists in order to make themselves loads of money by pretending it's something special, creating the market? Well, yes, there's a lot of that going on. But there's also some very, very good stuff. So it's a very enjoyable experience. But you'll be surprised, well, you probably wouldn't, what passes as art, and I can say the same about what I'm doing here. Let's just glaze over that now, just see what happens. The PVA glue has a milky tone to it when it's wet, but as it dries, it loses that and becomes transparent. So we'll see what happens. Right, I'm going to go back to lightening that area in the middle there now, on the right hand side. But let's just bring that down there and get that sort of squared off a little bit there. A little harder edge there. So we can call this a square in the middle. Well, we'll let that go for a minute. We'll go somewhere else. We'll go onto this side here. I've got to put a border. The board. This is becoming a sort of a frame. There's your red. Leave a little bit of that margin down here, showing through. Okay, now we'll go back with a bit of ochre and a bit of red, a bit more medium, and let's just go across here. And slowly we can put it together. Get that a ready glaze over. That looks like crimson red, that cadmium red. Well, I suppose it is. It might just be me. Right, just put that red tinge over there. Glaze. But this hasn't the power of the two I did yesterday. Different mood, see? Let that dry a little bit. So we sort of got a cross between a Rothko and a Hodgkin, who I love. Check out Howard Hodgkin, Sir Howard Hodgkin, if you haven't already. He's a Fantastic painter. Reckoned to be Britain's best colourist. Says it takes 2 years to do a painting, but he doesn't, not start to finish. He does a bit and puts it away a bit and gets it out. And over a period, he ends up with a lovely, challenging board. He does a lot, or did, theatre designs, backdrops. And a lot of his paintings, you can see they're like stage designs. Lovely, absolutely lovely, very challenging, gorgeous. Nothing straight on there, is there? But we don't want the straightness, we just want just something we're aiming at. I think that's a bit of a muddy colour there. Well, let's let that dry. Let's go back over with some more black over this. Dramatise it. We can always rely on black for that. And do the same on the side here. You're making it up as you go along. Don't like something, it's not working, try something else. That's we're making sort of a painting, but doesn't bear any resemblance to anything that we know, other than just making it up. But it's this lovely glazing. Really dark there, isn't it? I don't know. I'm going to dry that off again, so we have those off. I think now we can think about putting some of these colours in neat now, because I have them on the board. So let's repeat around, put some objects in, some different things. No, why is he doing that, I wonder? You can't find fine detail with this sort of brush. Some red in there. Feels like leather. I'm not sure about that. Let's move away from that and just clean that up a little bit, change that colour a little bit. Change that orange, just drag over that. Hairs as well. Not sure I like that very much, but it's got some sort of abstraction. I'm going to go back over that. I don't like it. Come back with black, just obliterate it. Didn't take long, did it? Obliterate it, leave a bit of it showing through maybe. Bit of stone in there. Nothing else that'll make that light look lighter. Oh, Amy Winehouse song, Back to Black. Gosh, I love that. That young lady, she was fantastic singer. Went to the same art academy, not far from where I live. The Brit Academy, the Brit Art, Brit Academy, Croydon. Let's just gently drag across there. Why? Well, who knows why. Back to Black. First time I heard it was in the Isle of... Well, no, it was down in Cornwall. Oh, I was just knocked out by it, and then she dies. Lovely child. Oh, that's a possibility. Right. I'd like to put that bit of white down there, but I don't think I could use my inch flat. This is my watercolour brush. I'm not going to use it. I'll do it with that brush, and I've got a marl stick here somewhere. It's all worn out. Right, okay, let's get a bit of white, a bit of ochre, to see if we can get a line down there. Oops. Why? Don't ask me. No idea why. how did I ever get interested in painting? I wasn't interested in it at school, I wasn't very good at it. I'm not very good at it now, I just love doing it. I just do the best I can. I was in the print when I left school. I was doing an apprenticeship as a compositor in the print for a very well-known colour printer in London. Long gone, now a government building. And I hated it. But going to the printing colleges for further education on day release, I became aware of art and artists slowly. And drawing, never really practiced drawing, but I never persevered. But bit by bit, I started to try watercolours. And we had a friend, sorry about the back of my head, who was a very good artist, a very good musician too, but he was a tool maker, struggling to bring up 4 kids. And we had moved into our first house, and we had a large bedroom that hadn't been decorated. So me and my wife and him, we made up some canvases from tent canvas, stretched them on pieces of wood, nailed them to the wall, or one of the walls, and we painted a lighthouse. We bought some oil paints and some turps, and that's how it all started. And I've been doing it ever since. Not really straight, but it doesn't matter. Well, we won't win any prizes, will it? But I'll do something about that. Me black. I was going on to say was that Adele went to the same art academy, the same music academy, acting, singing, and look how big she is. I mean, big. I mean, I don't mean in size. I mean in popularity. Wonderful, wonderful performer. Well, I don't know. That's. Don't know. My dark period, my black period. Well, it's not what I intended, but there you go. That's what happens with this sort of painting. We make it up as we go along, follow the brush, and see what happens. Sometimes you get something really interesting. Let's just put some orange in there. And maybe just an echo in here. Right, I'm not going to do any more than that. I'm going to peel that paper off the masking tape because it'll give us a border. And I know a lot of you think it was a load of old rubbish, and it probably is, but it's still a painting, it's still an original piece of art that I know a lot of people like this sort of art, and I certainly like doing it. So say tribute to Rothko, but that'd be a bit pretentious because Rothko was a one-off, and absolute. He just has that effect. Now I want to go up to London, and well, we live in South London, and go and have a look at the paintings up there. Right, let's just pull. Well, I'll leave it like that. It's a work in progress. No one's to do any more to it. I've got quite. It's just getting away from what you always do. That becomes a sort of a habit. I'm just trying to get that square. Well, it won't be. I'll zoom in on it, but you can see how rough it is. But it's what happens when you make things up. There's nothing beautiful about it, but maybe it's a thoughtful piece, an entertainment, and it's what I did. Just come down a little bit. So I'll photograph it, and I'll think of a title. But do have a go yourself. If you've got some acrylic or some oil, just do something different with it. Just free up a bit. That's my advice. Is to get you out of a little tight corner with your work by trying other things. It's all there to be done. It's paint at the end of the day, and what you do with it is entirely up to you. The trouble is, I published mine for all the world to see and have a laugh at, or not. I hope you enjoyed that little sojourn. Bye for now.